Well, former U.S. President Donald Trump was found guilty yesterday afternoon of all 34 criminal charges he faced at his hush money trial. Talk more about this morning. CTV's Tony Grace is following this story. So, Tony, talk us through some of the initial reaction to this historic verdict.
Right. Where do we begin, Nick? You know, this is an unprecedented situation. A former U.S. president now convicted of felony criminal charges, all 34 counts, as you mentioned, in that trial. So let's go through some of the initial reaction, because we know Donald Trump's reaction. He's calling this a rigged, disgraced trial, remaining defiant. In fact, Nick, we're expecting to hear from Donald Trump about 4 hours from now, and the tone expected to be very defiant. We understand he was out and about in Manhattan last night, and his team was already branding him as a political prisoner. So let's hear and remind you once again Donald Trump's initial reaction right after that verdict from the jury.
End it immediately. The judge ought to end it and save his reputation. Thank you very much.
Are you happy with the lawyers?
This was a rigged trial by a conflicted judge who was corrupt. It's a rigged trial, a disgrace. They wouldn't give us a venue change. We were at 5% or 6% in this district, in this area. This was a rigged, disgraceful trial. But the real verdict is going to be November 5th by the people. And they know what happened here, and everybody knows what happened here. You have a Soros-backed DA and the whole thing. We didn't do a thing wrong. I'm a very innocent man.
But Alvin Bragg, the district attorney in New York, pointed out that they followed this case as they follow any other case, in spite of and despite the fact that there is a defendant here with a much higher profile. Have a listen to what Alvin Bragg had to say right after the verdict.
I did my job. Our job is to follow the facts and the law without fear or favor. And that's exactly what we did here. And what I feel is just gratitude to work alongside phenomenal public servants who do that each and every day in matters that you all write about and make the press, and in lots of matters that you don't. I did my job. We did our job. Many voices out there. The only voice that matters is the voice of the jury, and the jury has spoken.
And so, guys, what happens next? You know, there's so much on the calendar here, because sentencing is July the 11th. So what will happen there? There could be a range of penalties from, probation all the way up to 4 years of prison time for each count. Nobody we speak with in the legal community or political community seems to think there's going to be prison time here. So it's a question of what might the political consequences be going forward. No question that Donald Trump's going to run for president again, and there's nothing in the U.S. Constitution stopping that. The question a lot of strategists have this morning, before we hear from Trump, guys, is what sort of tone does he take going forward? Does he continue to repeat this message that, the system is against him, or does he start to focus on political policies? Because capturing the attention of independents, moderates, the people on the margins that could decide this election is going to be critical as we enter what a lot of strategists and observers think is going to be a wild few months here. Nick?
Yeah. Once again, in unprecedented territory south of the border. CTV's Tony Grace, thanks for teeing it up this morning. We'll see what Trump says in about 4 hours' time. Thanks.
Yep, we'll have it live. You bet.